Ben Fulford. Today is the 26th. You know, I'm really getting to where I need my glasses. Today's the 26th of May. I am in Little Rock, Arkansas, and you are in Tokyo, Japan. And this is our weekly meeting where I ask you what you're seeing in the world, and you ask me how the campaign is going. So, Ben, you wrote a brilliant, brilliant piece in your subscription blog, which I subscribe to for $11 a month. It's benfulford.net.
Yes, Benjamin
Yeah,
Fulford.
absolutely essential reading. One of only 2 subscriptions that I pay for in the world. So, Ben, what's your big picture? Trump is reported to be confirmed for Mount Rushmore on the 3rd of July.
Well, you know, I hope one day that they'll add a statue of Trump to Mount Rushmore. But what's happening is at a very high level. You know, we're at a deadlock that's slowly ending. Basically, what's happened is a whole bunch of people come together. We got the Russians, we got the Chinese, we got the British Empire. You know, we got the Pentagon and the P3. They're all saying to these Zionists that, you know, enough's enough. And they're like some kid who would rather blow up the school than write the exam, or, you know what I mean? Or somebody would rather kill his wife and get divorced. They're trying to take us all down with them. And so it's really a military operation right now. We're hunting down the vaccine pushers. We're hunting down the top Zionist leadership, these fanatics who still want to think that it's God's will that they kill 90% of humanity and enslave the rest. These people,
although I would say they're more Luciferian. They're not God's will as much as they're satanic pedophiles and Luciferians.
Of course. In their view, Lucifer is God. I mean, yes. I don't want to denigrate religion or God. I just want to say that's how they look.
We're talking about twisted, sick people.
Yes, they somehow think that some benevolent creator wants to kill 90% of us, you know, and enslave the rest. It's totally insane. Anyway, so it's a military operation, and it's going to continue for a while. But I have heard that a lot of big names have come down, and so, you know, I don't want to give dates, but we're definitely winning, and we're close to the end game. So that's the big picture over here now, and. You know, we have a list of names of people that are still standing in the way. You know, we do need the fact that, for example, Google is censoring truth about the vaccines and about the pandemic is a sign that they're war criminals. And the same about Facebook. And they're both located in or around Palo Alto, California. So
let me throw in the Center for Countering Digital Hate, which is a deep state front fully funded by the Zionists, with the Anti-Defamation League and its anti-Semitic trick translated into hate speech, translated into censorship, translated into repressing patriotism. So I will tell you, Ben, I have some inside information. There is a massive, massive lawsuit with hundreds of plaintiffs and lots of data that is going to come out this summer against the Center for Countering Digital Hate and also the Anti-Defamation League, which is also going to be under the gun for treason, for being an unregistered agent of a foreign power. We're done with these people. The Anti-Defamation League is on notice.
You know, I had a book banned by the Simon Wiesenthal Center because for anti-Semitism, because in this book, which is written in Japanese, I was saying that there was a bunch of you know, people are about to carry out a big genocide. So you have a Jewish person writing about denouncing genocide in Iraq, being accused of anti-Semitism by these people. This shows you what incredible hypocrites they are.
Well, let me point out, not only do we distinguish between Zionism, which is the Red Mafia, the predominantly Russian criminal element that owns furniture salesmen like Netanyahu and his crazy wife, but that Sheldon Adelson and his wife threw under the bus. They understand that Netanyahu and his wife are idiots who are bought and paid for and evil. But what's really important to me is that rabbis across the United States and around the world are starting to denounce Zionism. And Rabbi Shapiro, for example, has joined Rabbi Lerner and many others saying, is Zionism a stake in the heart of Judaism? I think that split is here. And what this tour is doing is widening the split or making more visible the split between the 99% and the 1%. So what's your final vision here for how the year is going to turn out? Does Donald Trump come back into power by July?
Maybe, but I think that the United States, as it has been existing for the past 240 years, is finished, and it's going to be replaced with something better that will include Canada and maybe South America as well. So it'll come out bigger and stronger and new. And
lo que mi amigo está diciendo es que los Estados Unidos se van a reunir con Canadá y con México particularmente, y todos vamos a vivir conjuntos, feliz, con mucho dinero para todos.
Sí, esa es la idea. Y los latinos van a tener una posición igual
a los indios y los negros y los blancos. Y mira, tengo que decirle que los latinos son de todos colores. Son blancos, son negros, son rojos, son amarillos en Perú, todos, rojos en Argentina.
Y no va a haber.
Let me just say, I give thanks to God for the North American continent, from the Arctic to the Antarctic, because I believe that's the future of the world.
And it's no more neo-colonialism for South America. No más colonialismo gringo en Sudamérica.
Totalmente de acuerdo.
Bueno, so
you surprised me. I knew you spoke Japanese. I did not realize you had Spanish so well in hand. God bless you, Ben. I am so honored to know you.
So anyway, you've been all over the United States, and I'm, this is very important. I've met you in person. I know you're real. I know you're not computer graphics. And
I went to meet you to be sure that you were real. And you're the guy who introduced me to the Japanese princess, the Yakuza gangsters, and all these wonderful people that illuminate. I broke the story on the North Korean unification because of you.
Well, good scoop for you. But anyway, so getting back, you're on the ground. You've gone to different parts of the United States. You talk to all sorts of people. So what are you seeing? I mean, what is it on the ground the Second American Revolution? What are you seeing on the ground?
Well, on a personal note, let me tell you, Ben, that I'm totally surprised to find out that I own the white grandmother groupie demographic. Grandmothers are coming to me. Now, I keep telling them, please, I'm the messenger of God. There's no way Robert Steele was smart enough or rich enough or connected enough to pull $6 million coaches out of his ass and raise $850,000 in 8.5 weeks. And we're going to have to raise another $1.2 million or I go to jail. But I think this is going to be fine. Here's the bottom line, Ben. Blacks and whites are coming together. Populists of the right are coming together with populists of the left and independents and libertarians. And everybody is saying, screw the political parties. Screw particularly the Republican Party, not just the Democratic Party. Everybody gets that the Republican Party and Democratic Party are the fronts for the deep state, that election fraud is how you get a Congress that is treasonous, that allows Wall Street treason and crime, and that basically protects satanic pedophilia. And my 3 websites now have massive numbers coming to them: unrigged.net, pedoempire.org, and stopnakedshortselling.org. And people can just go to robertdavidsteele.com to see the ecology. So the websites have massive attention. The 3 movies that I'm making are going to come out before the 4th of July. They may be screened in 1,500 theaters across the country. There's some very rich people behind us. They're not donating to the campaign, but they're making things happen, such as in New Orleans. Ben, you would have loved this. I posted some pictures. In New Orleans, I wore my tuxedo. My name is Bond, James Bond. And we just had a blast with a jazz band and so forth. All on balance, what is happening is that God is back in America's heart, and America is back in the saddle, and the traitors, the criminals, and the elite pedophiles are on the run.
And, the whole world wants the good old, United States of America that we all fell in love with to come back, to, escape from the clutches of this stealth satanic takeover and once again be, shining beacon for the world. We're all waiting for it. We're going to help make it happen. And then, all these artificial divisions between different parts of the world, this sort of Hegelian dialect where they try to make us fight against them so that they can both control us.
No,
that's over. We're all one big family.
Ben, Sheriff Richard Mack rejoins our tour today. He was up in New York for like a 3,000 to 4,000 person thing honoring law enforcement, which of course we all honor law enforcement. But we drove out to Battle Mountain to honor Sheriff Mack, and that wrecked my whole schedule. And we've recovered from that now. We've got 13 locations posted. We're now in our groove. Radio is starting and so forth. But Sheriff Richard Mack rejoins our tour today and will be with us for the rest of the tour in Russellville, Arkansas. But what I want to say to you, Ben, is that localized power and constitutional sheriffs and what do you do it when sheriff deputizes, the deputizing of not just citizens, but moms. What I am seeing is moms rising. And we've just recruited Tina Griffin to be the main mom on our campaign. We'll have others such as Dr. Tenpenny and Popper, no, but this is not a Trump tour. It's not an anti-vax tour. It's a mom tour.
That's right. Their weakness, the weakness of the elite, is that they can only corrupt the very tip top.
Yes, brilliant observation, Ben.
So from the bottom and the middle up, we push, and then like bursting a pimple, we can pop them out of our political system.
But there's also a local aspect. For example, we were just banned from a public park in Memphis, Tennessee, Shelby Park. Now, an investigation is going to go on, and we're going to find that the Shelby Park people were misled or bribed to cancel a contractual obligation. So Shelby Park in Memphis, Tennessee has cubicle rats who betrayed the public trust, violated a contract with us, and shut us out of the park because they were either bribed, blackmailed, or brainwashed into closing down a patriotic, civic, educational tour that had 100 people show up, only to be turned away from a public park. Okay, now I've got legal at bigbatusa.org. We are working with some incredibly talented lawyers. We're starting to build a federal case. And every single time, I'm waiting for 5. Once I have 5 times, I'm going to file a federal lawsuit against 999 people, and we are going to clean their goddamn clock.
Good. By the way, if you're in Arkansas, I'd love if you'd ask around about Winthrop Rockefeller, who's supposedly the father of Bill Clinton, and who, married his cousin.
Well, Bill Clinton's the father of a whole bunch of white and black people running around here.
Sure.
So I don't really want to go there.
Local gossip is always interesting, but when you're right there in Arkansas, I'd love to hear what the locals have to say. That's the thing about being on the ground, is you get to hear stuff that's never been in print before. You're right there. You got all these people coming to you. I'd love to, gather their stories, please. As a reporter, I'd love to hear this stuff.
I almost wish you were traveling with us, Ben, because we do have a really excellent video camera crew. We also have a drone, and we've just released some incredible drone footage of the war caravan. I mean, we've got 6 wrapped coaches, a gear bus, and 2 camera crew trucks.
And
with
how many
trailers.
people are in your group now?
My average hotel reservation every night is 30. So I'm paying $3,000 a night for hotels, which is why we need donations at bigbatusa.org. So I've got a $250,000 hotel bill. The good news is half the coach bill is paid off. That's $650,000. I've paid over $350,000. The audio's paid for. I still need $400,000 for permanent personnel. For staff salaries. I'm paying $20,000 to $30,000 every Monday just for crew salaries. Okay. So I'm not nervous about this, because I think the fact that I could raise $850,000 on my brand in 8.5 weeks is this is God's will. This is Robert Steele is the messenger. I'm the clerk. This is like Eisenhower after he gives the order for D-Day. A corporal on Juno has more authority than he does.
I would like to, ask everybody watching this, if they can, to donate to Mr. Steele. I've met him. I can personally vote for him.
Donate to Arise USA, the tour. It shows up on your credit card as Earth Intelligence Network, but the donate page is at bigbatusa.org. God bless you, Ben, for helping us with that.
Because this is a genuine patriot who really does want to fundamentally fix what's wrong in the United States.
Well, Ben, let me bring that up, because people keep asking me, what's the difference between you and some of these patriot meetings that have been taking place in Tulsa and Tampa and everywhere else. And there are three big differences. The first difference is we're not just about God and country and faith, family, and freedom, rah, 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 rah. We're actually bringing solutions. And if people go to bigbatusa.org and they go to the library page, they're going to see my memorandum for Trump on solutions. They're going to see my 4-hour speech with graphics on solutions for America. That includes open source everything engineering. It includes the elimination of taxation, taking away all of the federal land that's been confiscated from states, closing all of our military bases overseas, providing free job training with salaries for every American. So we're about solutions. That's one difference.
Speaking about open source, we have a great opportunity for a real experiment in open source. I'm talking about Microsoft. Now, my sources are telling me that Bill Gates was executed for war crimes. Now, I'm not sure if that's true, but I do notice a systematic campaign to ruin his image. And if he is still alive, you can be sure he'd have 100 lawyers and 100 PR companies on the case. And the fact that he's not defending himself is a good indication he's not around. But Microsoft should be nationalized and should be turned open source. That would be a good
let me tell you what the plan is. I don't know. I don't work for Trump, and this is not a Trump tour. It's not an anti-vax tour. It's a civic educational unity tour. But I was distracted from my Web 3.0 efforts by this tour. This tour came out of nowhere. On the 7th of March, Juan Osavin said, Robert, you need to get on the road. And on the 14th of March, I got my first $100 donation. And I have been working 16-hour days, 7 days a week ever since then. But let me tell you, Ben, I believe there will be an open source agency. The Office of Management and Budget has approved it twice. That open source agency, apart from running $2 billion a year, is going to have influence over $1 trillion a year in education, intelligence, and research money. And I believe that's going to flip everything. I intend to put Google, Gestapo, Microsoft, all of these people out of business unless they go open source and transparent. That we eliminate the hate speech bullshit that the traitors in the Anti-Defamation League and the Center for Countering Digital Hate, both treasonous agents of a foreign power, undeclared agents of a foreign power.
People forget that the reason Google became so popular was because it was based on the people.
Well, Ben, remember now, Google was funded by CIA. My friend Rick Steinheiser.
Maybe, but the point is that their recommendations, their searches were based on what people were doing.
Well, yes and no, Ben. Larry. I know Larry personally. I think he's a thief. Okay, he stole Yahoo's search engine. He ultimately settled in court for $1 billion. He also stole Eugene Garfield's citation analytics idea and applied it to web stuff. Look, Google is shit if you really want to get down to it. The only thing about Google that's valuable is Google Maps and maybe Google Translate. All of these people have been getting by on good enough shit. We're over. We're done with that.
All right. Well,
one of the things, one of the things we don't have is we don't have 100% data capture and sense-making capability, and we don't have tools for thinking. My friend Howard Rheingold wrote a brilliant book on tools for thinking. The whole public has been dumbed down and misled. So let me just end, Ben, and then I'll ask you for the last word and what I really am looking forward to our weekly thing. And Ben, if you want to come travel with the tour, we'll find you a place on the coach. And while we're doing our event, you can be out asking people, what they think, because we don't have anyone out talking to people on the street. We're only talking to the people that come to see us. So Ben, you've got an open invitation, a funded open invitation. We stay in a nice hotel every night with beds and showers, and the coaches have bunks if people need to get away. But by and large, we're not in a coach for more than 4 to 5 hours a day. The
invitation is appreciated, but what I'm trying to do now is lobby the most powerful people on earth and to convince them that we need an operation bigger than World War III to end poverty, stop environmental destruction, and set humanity off on a path for exponential expansion into the universe. So I'm trying to convince, that's what I'm concentrating, the most powerful people on earth, saying, look, we're not out to get bad guys. We're not out to remove you from power.
Truth and reconciliation is always essential for me. However, if you don't accept the offer, if you don't make the deal, then we'll put a bayonet up your fucking ass.
Absolutely. surrender or die is definitely on the table there, because these people, a lot of them.
And if you surrender, you get a free pass.
That's right. They get the truth and reconciliation and a new start. You know, it's like everything. You know, we reset at a blank slate.
I think we're keeping the Swiss face clinics in business.
Anyway, I'm sure that we're going to win this, and I wish you the best. And we'll talk again next week.
God bless you, Ben. And for those of you that want to support this tour and ease my own personal angst over paying all these bills, please donate at bigbatusa.org. You get a founding citizen certificate. We never ask you for another penny. What we ask you to do is join the fight and recruit others to join the fight. This is the second American Revolution, and God bless each and every one of you, because America first is not just America first. It means America first as a liberator for the rest of the world. God bless you.
God bless you. All right. Good night.